this out.
Oh, it says meeting is streaming live on Facebook. We are live.
Oh, is it right now?
Yeah.
It says it's setting it up.
It says meeting is now streaming live on Facebook.
Oh, cool. I'm a total virgin in this, so let's see how this is. I want to see.
I can pull it up on my phone.
I have Facebook right here in the background, so let's refresh.
Yep, we're live.
Oh my God, cool.
But it just shows you. It doesn't show. Oh, it does show me now that I'm talking.
Okay. New activity. Okay, I see it starting to happen. Oh, cool.
Yeah, I think it's slightly delayed, but looks good.
Yeah, this is cool. All right, I guess it switches back and forth, so it's probably easier to just pay attention to each other right here.
Yeah, I think so.
Because then, but I want to see the comments. I want to see if people are going to show up. We got 2 people on so far, so let's jump into this.
Okay.
All right, cool.
People who are on.
Yes. It's confusing too, just so everyone knows, to be doing this in Zoom and knowing that there's other people watching. Like, this is a new experience for me.
It's like we're in a reality television show. We have our own show.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm glad we jumped on early to figure this out, and now everyone is, people are watching us. So that's cool. Okay. I've got so many distractions in the background. Okay, cool. So tell me how you're feeling, first of all, because I send you a message like every day to see what's going on with you.
I am feeling good. I have been listening to my recording like probably twice a day. So I've been listening to it in the morning, which I didn't do it this morning, and then like listening to it at night whenever I go to sleep. And that music that you put with the talking is the most calming. I'm like, I just want that to be the soundtrack to my life. Like, just like, it's amazing.
It's so cool. Yeah. So first, let me explain a little bit about what it is, because I know a decent amount of people in here have done sessions with me, so they get it, but I know a lot of people are still kind of curious. And still, when I go into sessions, I kind of break it down so people can understand exactly what the process is, because I know I get a lot of excited people who don't really want to know the process, and they just jump in anyway, and then they get there and like, holy crap, what did I get myself into, kind of a thing, you know? So I'll go over that process really quickly, and it's very simple. So basically, we're getting you into your subconscious mind, turning off that critical thinking mind, the mind that's always going, that bitch brain, whatever you call it. And then we bring you back into 3 scenes, maybe 4, maybe 2, depending on what I think needs to be uncovered, into your childhood. It could be in your adulthood. It could be in your teens, really wherever your mind is going to take you. I say childhood because that's where most of the impressions have been made, from ages 0 to 12, 14-ish, right around there. So that's where most of your imprintation has taken place. And imprintation is any kind of traumatic experience that could have caused you to create a belief. Now, trauma isn't always extreme. It could be just something that a little child takes in and creates this belief around it. Like, perfect example is mommy looks in the mirror and criticizes herself, therefore it must be my fault, or that's what's going to happen to me, or that's just how life is going to be for me. That's a traumatic experience for, let's just say, a 5 or 6-year-old, or even a 12-year-old. So they take those on as them because they're looking up to their parents, and they're taking on those same beliefs that their parents have. So I don't want you to think that you're screwing up your kids, because this is what I thought for the longest time. We're all going to have our crap. We're all going to have our crap, but learning how to pull yourself out of that crap is the key here. So bringing you back into those childhood scenes, making your subconscious understand why it has this belief, this problem, whatever it might be, and then taking your words and the things that you want and reprogramming them into your subconscious mind, because when you're in your subconscious, you're very suggestible, and you're taking on whatever I might be putting into this recording, and I'll tell you about that in a second. You're taking all of those suggestions in deeply into your subconscious mind. You're going to remember everything that's happened. It's like you're in a super focused state and nothing else is getting in your way. So from there, all the tools that I use, from then going into your past, reprogramming it, you get this recording that you listen to for 21 days. And it's going to be this transformational recording. And like Lindsay said, I put some really cool music in the background to help you really get into that state. Because the music definitely does help calm your brain waves. So you listen to this for 21 days, and then I check on you every single day to see how you're feeling, kind of coach you through it, see if you have any questions, any concerns, because it's not always going to happen immediately. It could for some people. A lot of people feel sense of relief right after, but it might take you a couple days. You might not even realize that things are changing for you. It could be this retroactive thing that happens. Like 5 days later, you realize that whatever your problem was, you haven't been thinking about it. So it can happen in many different ways. So it's pretty freaking cool. It's pretty freaking cool to see this happen and to watch people go through the emotional release that they need to have during the session, after the session. Some people I've had angry at me after, but then they realize like, this is what I need. Oh my God. So it's like a realization, but releasing those emotions that you've held on to since you were a kid is powerful shit. Powerful shit. So that's a quick run through of basically what it is. It's a rapid release of your emotions to then create the beliefs that you want to hold on to in your life so that you can move forward and do whatever the hell you want. So that's really quick. And we're just going to go over today what Lindsay's experience was. So I'm just going to hand it over to her right now so that she can go through that and say whatever's on her mind. Go for it.
Okay, so I was assuming that you were just gonna like ask me questions about certain parts, but
We can definitely go into that, but I want to hear your experience first, and then I'm gonna pull some things out of there.
So I've basically told everybody that I know about this process because that's me, and I thought it was so freaking cool. Some of the things that I thought were really cool was obviously like the test that you did to make sure that I was hypnotized, that I was like suggestible or whatever. That was really cool. And then it was interesting because, you know, like when I had that first scene that popped up in my mind, for those, I don't care, I'll tell my story, but like we did mine on procrastination because procrastination is my Achilles. Like I've always been horrible about procrastinating, and it really does get in my way a lot, and it creates a lot of stress in my life. So that's why we did it. But anyway, like when Lauren took me back to like go to my first scene, it was weird because I was like, I don't know the scene. Like I can picture it, but I didn't know what it was. So she was like, okay, moving on. Like we don't even know who this lady is or who, you know, what this is going on. And so then when we went into the second scene, it was like, okay, this makes total sense. And one of the things that was so interesting for me that like let me know that it really was my subconscious talking and like not me talking. And I don't know if you've heard this, I'm sure you've heard this before, Lauren, but it was like my voice sounded different. It's almost like, this is Corbin. It's almost like it's almost like your ego puts this spin on your voice to make your voice sound good to you. So you love to hear yourself talk. But whenever I was like talking with Lauren, it was like I sounded different. Like I kind of sounded like more robotic and like less like it was like being prompted and less like me, you know, like just like talking to talk. So I was like answering the questions and stuff. So that was really cool to like have that like out of body experience almost. Okay, bud, go watch your show, please. My arm does not itch. And then I'm trying to think what else like that really like stood out to me. I don't know. I mean, it was a really, really cool experience. We did it on the lunar eclipse. So it was like a gargantuan emotional release. And so that was really cool. And then afterwards, I just felt so like, just like light and airy. And like, I could envision everything that she said. And one of the funny things that I was thinking about is, and I want you to answer this for me, Lauren, because I'm curious what you think. And I feel like this is what everybody thinks whenever they do this. So like when she has you like in the hypnosis part in the beginning, you are like descending down these stairs to like get and go deeper into that. My kid's having puffy Cheetos for breakfast, guys. Actually, I bribed him with his favorite show and puffy Cheetos so I could do this video, and it didn't work.
It's called Paprika.
Okay. All right. We go watch it, please. Paprika. Anyway, but
So
whenever I'm like going, she has you descend down these stairs to like go deeper into your hypnosis. And I'm curious, Lauren, if this is something that you picture, but I feel like everyone, it's probably just me. I picture myself barefoot in this white dress, like with my bare feet stepping down the stairs. Like, is that what you picture your feet when you go down the stairs?
I have a different experience with it. I'm not as visual with the pictures. Like, we're all going to experience this differently. So not many people have told me what they actually visualize. So this is cool. This is really cool. But like, I visualize, I don't see the stairs, but I can picture the color. Like I'm more about the color and the feeling of the color. So I can actually feel myself going deeper and deeper, and I can imagine the number that I'm hearing in my mind, but I don't actually see the stairs. It's more of a feeling for me. So people can experience it in all different ways. Some people see the stairs, some don't. And it's just a way to get you to go deeper. So however you experience it is really cool, but I really like that. And I'm curious I always want to know what the meaning of things are. So I'm even curious what the meaning of that is. That's really cool. But that's like a beautiful way to visualize that.
Yeah. So it's like this angelic state almost in my mind. And, I've done other like meditation stuff. Like there's a book by Gabrielle Bernstein, and she has you like do this meditation. You're like walking across this bridge into this light. And I picture myself the same way in this white dress. It's like a nightgown, I guess. I'm barefoot. And like, that's just what, I guess it just makes me think of a pure state. I don't know.
I was going to say that it sounds like a pure state, kind of like there's no inner chatter happening. It's just you in your pure state.
And then, while I was doing it, I was like, let me see if my toenails are painted, because my toenails are always painted. And then, like whenever you like step, I can actually feel, which I feel like I'm a very energetic person. And so, I do feel energy a lot, but I can actually feel like, just like when we were doing the magnetic thing with my hands, I could feel the movement or whatever. But when you have me do a step on the stairs, I can actually feel energy in my feet, like I'm taking the step. And it's like your body's response to like give you that feeling. So that was really cool. So yeah, if you guys are watching this, Christine, comment and let me know if you're wearing a white dress and you're barefoot and as you descend the stairs, because I'm curious. Anyway.
It's so amazing. Now tell me, this is where the questions will start popping in. I don't plan these things. I like to have the conversation. The questions come to me as I go. That's how I did my podcast when I had it too. If I'm structured, I'm that type that, no, don't tell me what to do. I'm going to do it the way I want to do it. So that's how my mind works. So tell me, before we started to do this process, like what were the maybe concerns or questions or excitement like going through your mind? Because I know a lot of people they have no idea what to expect. So kind of like, what were you thinking?
Well, I feel like I had a pretty good idea of what to expect, because you told me how the process works. Like when you told me like 2 months ago, I was like, man, that's so cool. Like, I can't wait to like see that. And then, I did the alignment challenge with you. And so I had an idea of like what I was going, how like you kind of do inner voice prompts on that one. So it was like, you would kind of do an inner voice prompt and then your subconscious would speak. So this was a little bit different, but I was just really, really excited, because I'm totally into this shit and I want all the help that I can get. I'm like, if this helps me with my procrastination, I will literally eat a white dog turd. Like, I don't care. I want help. So it was cool though.
That's awesome. Did you have any concerns going into it that it might not work?
Not really. I feel like I'm a very subjectable person. I don't, I didn't doubt that. There was a couple of times where I was like, am I under hypnosis? Because I can hear, I'm conscious, you know, it's like I almost expect it to be unconscious,
Yeah.
but you're conscious and you can observe things and you can still have thoughts outside of the thing. But whenever you're like, oh, I can see your eyes like fluttering. And I was like, okay, I can feel that. And then like, you know, I would feel the things. And so it's like, it was kind of like would come in waves or whatever. But I mean, I honestly, the only thing I was concerned about was like, I didn't have my computer plugged in.
Those little things, right? The
Yeah.
little things.
But yeah, so I mean, I'm like I was so excited about it that I was like, I trust the process. I mean, you've been doing this, so I didn't really have any concerns besides like, you know, crying, and I'm an ugly crier and you having to look at me. So other than that, not really any concerns.
There are so many times that people cry. That has to be like one of the biggest things. And I know there's an emotional release, something happening, something's going to shift when someone cries, because I have it almost every single time. And I remember when I first started doing it and practicing with other practitioners and therapists, I was like, I couldn't believe the amount of cries that I let out. I was like, oh my God, like who would want to do this? And then realizing the impact that it had after that, and the actual reprogramming that happens. Because, and I'll even tell you, when you're reprogrammed, because I get that a lot, like, how do I know? How do I know that this is actually working? Because you're always going to have your ego step in and question it, right? Because that's what we know. So that's our protection. So it's, you actually know when it's reprogrammed when you start to notice that it's not affecting you anymore. You're reacting differently, or you're not even thinking about it anymore. Like it's just not an issue in your life anymore. And that's why you're supposed to do the recording for 21 days, because it's going to constantly help you to reprogram that. There are so many other ways to reprogram too. And I know I'm going to be breaking into that as the group shifts. And little note here, the group is shifting on Sunday. So I'm excited for that. And I'll tell you why it's Sunday, because it won't let me do it right now. I am very much, I have an idea and I want to do it, and I want to do it now. So I can't change the name of the group because I took my name out of the group on November 6th. So it was from Hustle to Flow with Laura and Jean. I switched it on November 6th, and I wanted to switch it the other day. And it's like, oh, sorry, you can't until December 6th. I was like, shit. So I'm like, I've got this energy inside of me that I can't contain, because the stuff that's coming, I'm so excited for. And it's been, and the reason why it shifted is because of you guys. I've seen everything that you're really enjoying, everything that you really want to do. And it had a main idea to the group now, but it's going to shift and it's going to go even deeper and be able to serve you guys so much better. Because if you know, you're a creative entrepreneur, you got all these ideas, and you're like, oh my God, what do I go for next? I have no idea. You just talk to people, create this community, and you can realize like, oh, this is easy. This is what they want. So it's that kind of a shift. So I'm excited to bring that into, and it's going to help with the RTT even more. And then the other things that I have coming too. So excited for that. And I want to bring definitely more of my clients in to really share their experience. I know people love sharing. We all love talking about ourselves. Who doesn't love talking about themselves? You might say that you don't, but when you're asked questions, you'll find out that you do. You really find out that you do. So I'm excited to see where this takes you, because we'll have at least another 3 weeks before we do another session with you, because you have the 2. So I'm guessing it's probably gonna be sometime in January, and we'll figure that out, and you'll see what has shifted since from now until then, because it could be a completely different issue, or you could want to go in deeper with this particular one. You have no idea. So it's going to be a lot of fun to see the shifts that have taken place and where it's going to lead you now. So that's exciting.
I'm so excited. Like, I can't wait for my transformation. Do you have Cheetos on your hands, man? Stop. I can't wait for my transformation.
You will make me talk.
Okay,
So
do you want to talk?
I wanted to talk to you then.
Okay, well, can you wait? I'll be done soon. I have a personal time love language kid over here. He doesn't like to share his time. I'm really excited about my transformation and to be able to like at the end of it be like, this is the complete shift that I made. And I'm excited about all the changes in the group. I don't know what it is, but I'm excited.
I know, I'm like, I want to share it right now. I even said to myself, because I have the new graphic for it, which pretty much explains it. I'm like, just put the graphic up. You don't have to change the name. I'm like, no, just wait. Just wait. And it's fun to have that type of excitement, you know? We've all had that type of excitement where we have something to share or something to change. And it's just like, I wanna just like share to the world.
Yeah.
You know?
Straight from the rooftops.
Yeah. It's definitely fun. So is there anything else that you want to share about the actual session? Anything that comes to mind that you kind of like didn't expect or you did expect, whatever you're thinking?
I didn't expect to do the whole like childhood part where, so like Lauren had you go in and like you actually like make eye contact with like your childhood self and you see them and you know, like find out what they need and like what they didn't get, you know. And I mean, I was actually, you know, I feel like everybody's kind of scared that you're gonna like uncover some like nasty truths about yourself that you've been like burying down in your subconscious. And I was actually chatting with Christine about this. I was like, dude, like everything that you're gonna discover is like you probably already know it. I feel like it's probably like a rare thing to be like, oh, I have like, I don't recall any of the things that we brought up. I mean, that's probably like from serious trauma where people have like really buried it down. But like a lot of the stuff that we brought up, I was like, I was like, okay, like that's not scary because I already know that about myself, you know? And like for me, it was a good thing when you were like, you know, did your childhood self like, was she loved? Did she feel worthy? And like, you know, all these things. And it's like, I was actually like, you know, I felt loved and I felt worthy. And it was like, you know, when I was talking to my mom, like I think she was nervous that I was gonna like uncover some like I was gonna be like, you totally screwed me up, mom, you know, but it was like I felt loved and I felt worthy and I felt all those things. So it's like it kind of just like re-solidified stuff for me. It's like, okay, well, like I've got this little thing going on and it's like I'm trying to fix that. And it's like I'm not a total like fucking mess, you know, like I, you know, so it was kind of good to be like, okay, I'm not a total fucking train wreck. I just got, you know, procrastination issues and a couple other things. So that was really cool. And, you know, I kind of liked how you like flipped it and made it to where it was like, you could take which by the way, if you guys do this and you fill out your form, like before you fill out your form, you need to seriously like manifest and spend time thinking about like your true ideal life, because I had like a novel, like I was so long of everything that I had and it was so cool to like I actually envisioned it. I was able to envision it perfectly. Like I told my husband, like because she has you go through and like you picture your ideal life. And like I have like some crazy manifesting goals. Like I want this redonkulous house and I want this pool and I want an organic garden and I basically want my own gardener like Jamie Oliver and I want like all of these things. And like when she was describing it to me, I pictured my house. I told my husband like I already saw her house. I know what it looks like. Like I know like when we drive up like what it's gonna look like and stuff. So it was really cool to get to like I get to picture that. And so then it's also my reporting, so I get to picture that like every day. So on top of the healing that I'm doing, I'm also like I'm manifesting on top of it. So that's cool too.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much what it is. You know, you want to envision yourself exactly where you are because you don't want to focus on the shit that you don't want. You're just going to bring more of that into your life. And I get that a lot with people saying, well, I don't want this. I don't want this. I'm like, okay, well, what do you want? Like always remember to focus on what you do want. And that's a lot of the work that I do with myself. And that's really where I start people off if they're working with me one-on-one or in a session or in a group program, anywhere. It's always about the thoughts. And people don't realize the impact that your thoughts have. Like they don't actually believe it. And that's okay because I didn't either. I'm like, it's a thought. Like it's a thought. You can't make anything from your thoughts. But if you think about it, you start with your thoughts, right? And that turns into a feeling and that's going to make you do something or not do something. So yeah, your thoughts mean something. They are things. As crazy as it sounds, Like you really got to wrap your head around it and not just accept it or reject it, but actually think about it. And that's why in the realignment challenge, which is still in this group that you can still get your hands on if you want, I didn't take it away because it's super helpful. You can really understand that process and really work with, like, if you want to actually change your life, really change your life and something that you want to focus on, watch that challenge and really do it. Don't just take the information in. There's been so many times in my life that I just watched something and I didn't actually pay attention. I was doing something else on the side, or I was listening to, perfect example is when I'm working and I'm listening to a podcast, right? But I'm not actually paying attention to the podcast. Great information. I'll hear, oh my God, I love your mug. I love it. By the way, I got my email notification that my shirts are on the way. Very excited. Yes, I had to throw that in there. I totally lost my train of thought, but
So sometimes when you're listening to a podcast,
yes, okay. Sometimes when I'm listening to a podcast, I love the information that I'm hearing, but it doesn't actually click. And here's a little mind tip for you. Everyone who does multitasking, that doesn't work. If you're trying to seriously focus on something, you can't do two things at one time. Your mind cannot focus on two things. It's a little bit different if you're like a mother, right? And you're washing the dishes or you're holding the kid. Those kinds of things you can do because they're programmed into us as mothers. But I'm talking about serious focus work here. If you want to focus and learn something, you cannot do that and work at the same time. You can't write a post and listen to something and take it in. You're just wasting your time. Just stop wasting your time. And if you're serious about doing something good for yourself, learning something, you need to focus on it. Seriously focus on it. Allow your mind to get quiet and take the information in. Really focus your time, because otherwise you're just taking in all this information and you're not getting a damn thing from it. You're just wasting your time. Focus on one thing and then go to that podcast, go to that book, whatever you need to do, but you need to give it serious focused time. Otherwise you're just spinning your wheels and you're not getting anything out of it. And think about how many times that's happened, that you actually read a book and took the information in rather than just making yourself proud and like checking, okay, I did that. No, you actually didn't.
I still do, like, from the realignment challenge where you had us like write down the 4 things, like our manifesting statements. I still say those multiple times a day. And I don't really listen to a ton of podcasts while I work. Every once in a while I'll listen to them, but it's while I'm doing things that I'm doing on autopilot. So it's like, I'm printing a shirt, I'm pressing a shirt, I'm pre-treating shirts. So it's like things that don't, but like I cannot write content and talk to anyone, or like and I find that if something is good, I just get sucked into it, and I'll notice that I'm just like totally into it, and I quit doing whatever else it is because I'm giving it my attention. But yeah, I used to think that I could multitask as a kid, and then I smoked like a ton of weed in college, and after that I was like, I can't multitask anymore. I fried whatever that was that I used to use, but it's now I just concentrate on, I can't multitask anymore. I'm like,
yeah. But even think when you're printing a shirt, your mind still has to work. So you're still not fully taking everything in, because you might be thinking about the person that you need to get to, when you need to get to the post office for that. So your mind is still drifting away. You're still not taking in everything that you possibly could. When I listen to, the only kind of music that I listen to when I'm working is super focused, like brainwave music, not just like YouTube music or music that I really enjoy, like that I can dance to. None of that. It's like brainwave music, like the stuff that's in the meditation and the recordings that I send to people. That's the type of music that I listen to, because it brings my brain to a certain wave that I need to get the shit done that I want to get done, because my brain won't get redirected to a different spot. It's solely focused on that. It's the only type of music that I listen to when I'm in my workspace or even in my bedroom. The only type of music that I listen to, like when I'm in the car, will be, the upbeat poppy stuff. That's the only place that I listen to that, because I find that to really not serving me anywhere else. Like if I want to get focused and get shit done, then I need to just get rid of the stuff that's pulling me away from it. And we get caught in that so many times. We say, oh, I can do this. I can do this. No, you really can't. And that was a big like aha for me. I'm like, wow, I'm sitting here and I'm getting nothing done. Nothing done. I've written maybe 2 sentences in a half an hour, and I have all these other distractions around me. And one of was podcast, one was music that's not serving me, all those distractions. And yet I have a hard time in silence when I'm working. I could sit and meditate in silence. Now I can do that. It took a while. It really took a while.
Well, I'm pretty sure if I listened to that all music all day, I would just ascend into the clouds because that shit.
Well, that's a different type. That's a different type of music. So yes, you would definitely be able to get into a deep meditation. There are different types of music that you can listen to that will get you in that focused area. And I can share that with you. I've shared a couple of them in the group a while ago, but I can definitely throw some up more if you guys want more. And
I had a crazy experience where someone hacked Kurt's Spotify and we were like sleeping in the middle of the night and it's like 3 a.m. and it like blasted on our surround sound in the living room and it was like that meditation music and we were like, this is some scary shit right now. I did it a couple of times. And so then they like got into a Spotify fight, like changing each other's songs and stuff. And we finally got it resolved, but it was like the middle of the night. We heard like crazy meditation music. Like, it's like, who hacked somebody's Spotify to meditate? Like, just get your own Spotify. But you ever wake up to that in the middle of the night? It's kind of creepy. You're like, that's it. It's the end of the world. I'm saying your goodbyes.
Oh my God, that's so funny. So funny. Well, you have anything else that you want to toss out about your actual experience?
I mean,
right
if
now,
you
I
guys
want to
are
hold you
thinking
for too
about
long.
doing it, just do it. Like, it's friggin' awesome. Obviously, like, you got to believe in it. If you're going to do it, you know, do it and do the work, but totally like worth it. Friggin' awesome.
That's the one thing I'll smash that myth right there. You don't actually have to believe in it. You just have to be open to it.
Okay.
Open to a new perspective. Because I've had people who they're interested in it. They're open to it, but they don't really believe it's going to work. And it still does. So you just have to allow that openness.
That's awesome.
But the people who I'm talking to are in that realm. They have that open mind. I won't work with someone who is just not an open-minded person.
Right.
You know, to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But yes.
But yeah, it was totally awesome. So if you're thinking about doing it, do it.
This is so cool. I love doing this. And the fact that we got it on Zoom is even better.
Yeah, because I'm pretty worried it wouldn't have worked on like Facebook Live because of my phone.
Yeah, I have not done a Facebook Live with 2 people yet. I haven't done anything like this in a group. I've only done it on Zoom and like shared it in the group. I've never actually done a live with someone else. So this is pretty freaking cool. Definitely cool. Yeah. And I definitely want to bring some more people on. I was even thinking about, and tell me what you guys think, and Lindsay too. I was even thinking about doing like hot seat coaching sessions in the live, just like this, so that other people can actually see like what their potential is, really. I know a lot of people just have certain questions, doubts, whatever it might be. And just like bringing people in here just to have an honest conversation to kind of give them some mind-blowing ideas. So I was thinking about doing that. Like there's a lot of good stuff, a lot of exciting stuff coming. I've got all these ideas just flowing into my head. And I'm just finally like allowing them and not saying, oh, I can't do that. I can't do that. Because it's like, no, I know what I can finally do now. And I want you guys to realize that too. You know, there's too many people thinking that they can't do certain things. And that just sucks. There's too much worthiness issues going on. And even if you say that you don't have it, you might just have it somewhere because you're just stopping yourself from doing something. That's a worthiness issue. There's something going on. So I kind of want to pull that out of you and get you to finally do what you freaking want to do. because it took me long enough. Almost 40 years. That's too long. That's too long.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited. I'm excited about all the cool stuff. I mean, I think that would be cool if you did a hot seat thing. Like, I mean, I don't feel like it's that much different than, you know, when we're doing, like when you did the money, our first thing or whatever, and everybody's answering questions. It's like, it's the same thing. Everybody's like reading everybody's comments and stuff. So
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I love it. Love it. That's pretty cool. All right, cool. Well, you guys will see the changes coming up in the next, I don't know, what day is it? Friday? In the next 2 days. So I'm excited for that. That's what I'll be working on today. And I haven't been as active in the group because everything's just blowing up over here. I've got a lot going on, a lot of fun stuff. And the group will definitely become more active in the next couple of days because, again, where you focus your energy on, that's where it goes. And I've got my energy in the Mind Over Money Intensive at the same time being a mom and working a job. So if I can do something like this, anyone can. Seriously. Like, you just got to do what you want to do and figure it out. Figure it out. Focus your attention on what you want to do, where your heart's pulling you at. And not once have I ever been pulled away from doing this type of work. I've questioned myself, but my heart always comes back. So just a little thought to think on. What do you actually want to do with your life? Stay stuck or move the F forward?
I know what I want.
Yeah. And I can't wait for my shirts to come. Just telling you that.
I can't wait to see them.
I wish it was warmer out. Well, I might still do this because you see a lot of pictures that I take at the beach. There's this beach that's maybe 10 minutes from me. I tend to go there after I drop my daughter off at the bus. But it's been freaking cold lately and the shirts are short sleeve. But I still might do it and suck it up because the beach is my calling.
There you go. I know you love the beach. That's great. I wish we had a beach that was closer.
Yeah. Well, I'm on an island. I'm surrounded by them.
Yeah.
They're everywhere. So yeah, I might just suck it up and go there. So we'll see when they get here and when I can actually get to the beach. But we'll call it a day for today because I know you got stuff to get going, even though it's only 7:30 your time, right? 7:35.
I don't want to procrastinate. You got to get the things done. Yeah, 7:30.
This is your way to get an alignment before you start your day.
I mean, like my hair's clean, my makeup's on. Like I'm already doing 10 times better than I did yesterday.
Yeah, right. Keep it going. Keep it going. But yes, we'll be in touch throughout the day. And thank everyone for who was here. And I'll take a look at the comments after I get off because I haven't been able to focus on that. Focus on one thing at a time. Just this call right here. So yeah, I'll see everyone in the group.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye, Linz. Bye.